In this video, I'm going to show you around a brand new LendEngine account to give you an overview of the core concepts before then you dive into detail with other videos and other support docs. So we're logged in as administrator. It's an important thing to remember that the administrator has a different view from your members or members of the public. So while you're testing, have two different browsers, one for your admin account and one for your user account. So LendEngine is divided into two halves. There's the member website where all your items are listed, and then there's admin, which is where you manage everything. So this is the admin area, a few search boxes, the menus down the left-hand side, and then the dashboard. This is really important to have a look at. Keep checking here for updates to the software and sign up for our email newsletter to get updates that way as well. We have features, feature requests, user guide, and community support as well. And then below that, some basic charts. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is actually set up our sites. So sites are the physical locations or addresses that we operate out of. So under settings, we go sites and opening hours. We're actually walked through the important settings here as well. So the first base is sites and opening hours. The system's got a default site for you, but you need to set the opening hours for that site. So let's say on Monday we're going to be open from 9 till 5. On Wednesday we're going to be open from 10 till 4. And then on Friday we're going to be open from, let's go 10 till 4 again. That is one site set up with some basic opening hours. It's a good start, and tick that to close that step. Next thing we'll do is go into loan settings to make sure that our library parameters, our fees, our timescales are set appropriately in here. Don't worry too much about the detail of this until you've got your head around how LendEngine works, but that's where those settings are. The next thing is to set up your membership types. There's a couple here that are set automatically for you, and tweak those as you see fit. So a self-serve membership type members can choose from, and if it's not self-serve, only admins can set. And then we go into contacts and memberships. So a contact can exist on your system without being a member. So let's go demo member. They don't have to have an email address, but let's put them in here, demomember@demo.com. Whether they can log in, their access permissions, and so on. Have a browse around there. So we'll save a new contact. So this person is not yet a member. To make them a member, we add a membership. Doing that jumps us across to the member site view. And remember, we're logged in as admin, and that means we can see everything. Let's say we'll subscribe these or this person to a temporary membership. They're now a temporary member. That's basically how the contact, membership type, membership process works. There's various tabs along here which gives you full detail. Let's say we're happy with contact management, and let's say we're happy with membership types. So I talked briefly about the member site, that's the front end. There's some member site settings here, so that's settings, member site. You can jump across to the member site with this menu item on the left, and then to actually change the content of that website, you can add pages and things like that. Click Edit Website. And there'll be a separate video which walks you through website editing. So that's where you do things like change the content of your homepage, change the look and feel, the colors, and things like that. Okay, so let's go back to admin. We haven't got any items yet. So there's different types of items you can have in LendEngine. Loan items, kits, stock items, and things like that. Let's just add a loan item. Every item has a location, and this is a configurable list. Locations are within your site, so each site will have a separate set of locations. And we'll call this simply a loan item. Explore the other fields as you see fit. The loan fees and the time periods are set by default from your library, or you can override it on a per item basis. What else have we got? Nothing in here that we need to cover in detail, but don't forget there's a lot more information behind there if you need. So we've now got a loan item. We can go to the member site to view this item. I'm not a member, so I can subscribe myself, or I can change user, browse as if you like, so masquerade as that member we created. So we'll change user and we will search up in here for demo member. And there's that person we subscribed to be a temporary member. So we browse as, and now I've got the ability to borrow because this person has a membership. So we choose the date, and here is where our opening hours come in. So I can choose from where, which is the pickup day and which is the return day. So let's say we're going to book this from tomorrow for a week. And then add to basket. Because I'm admin, I can actually change the fees in here. You can choose whether the fees are charged at point of reservation or they're charged at point of checkout. We'll reserve this. Creates a reservation, sends that email to the member. They'll come in later, and then what you can do is you can check out. So because this has a fee, we'll choose the payment method. This is a configurable list in admin. You can use card payments too, and check out. So this is now a loan status on loan. If we go into admin and then we go loans, all, we can see that the loan item is there. The loan manager is also somewhere that's really useful to look at. So we can see, let's have a look, next 7 days, returns, or maybe it's a little bit further, next 14 days, due back. When was it due back? I forget. No, overdue. I forget why it's not showing, but this is a really handy screen when you've got lots of loans, so look out for that. So when they come back to check in the item, you find it either by searching the items that are on loan, or the contacts. You could go into there and you can have a look at the loans they've got open, drop into that loan, and then we check in. Or you can extend it, choose a new return date if you've got that turned on in settings. We'll check it in and check that item in. That loan is now closed and the process is complete. You can see that there's loads of notes being added, the fees are being tracked, the location's being tracked, and so on. Okay, let's quickly cover a couple more things. Then is we've looked at the member site, pretty straightforward, done. We've created an item, happy with that. Obviously there's a far more stuff you can do in here, but have a browse around. Then finally, we've got the team. Make sure you add everybody else who's going to be needed as staff or admin. So staff has got ability to do basic things like check in, check out, manage items, but then admin can change settings and do more. Once you've done all of your setup processes, you're good to go. While I'm in admin, it's worth highlighting all the different modules you could turn on as well. So Lend Engine can help you manage events, which adds an events menu item down here. You can use Lend Engine for repairs and maintenance, which adds a repairs and maintenance module. And in fact, you can just use Lend Engine for repairs, like a repair cafe, for example, if you wanted to. And then there are various other modules which are well worth exploring: impact reporting, lockers, and then for multilingual accounts, you've got content translation, and there'll be separate videos for all of these. So that's the overview of a new account, and look forward to seeing you in other videos.